Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel once again and greeting from London. Today is pretty cloudy and it's a little bit chilly and now it's almost 1 p.m. So it's perfect timing for me to record a video. Anyway, in today's topic it's gonna be about my culture shock experience first time in Europe. I mean, coming from a country like Laos where everything's so different, from culture, people, food, weather, scenery, and everything else is so different compared to European countries. Before I came to Europe, I thought of Europe something else, but after I, visit and came visit a few times, I changed my mind about how I thought about European countries. I mean, I've been to only this area. I've never been to the Eastern Europe yet. Please kindly understand that this video is not about me comparing, my home country to another country and make it sound like which one is better and stuff like that. It's more like a perspective of a person from a different culture, experiencing another culture, and I found it good surprise and bad surprise at the same time. So yeah, please do understand my point. Thank you. Well, what are those culture shock experiences I've had for the first time? Number one is the food. So when I thought of Caucasian or Falang, that's what we call them. So Falang refers to all white people. I am not sure how that word, where that word came from. I thought it must have come from during the colonial era because Laos was French colonial country. And I think Falang must have come from the word French or France because Lao people, we cannot pronounce the R sound properly. I mean, back then, before the revolution, we used to have the R sound, but then some years ago, when there was a big change in constitution, the R sound was cut off, and a lot of people just couldn't pronounce the word R. So everything for us is L. Anyway, so yeah, when I thought of Falang people, I thought they must have eat bread like all the time or 3 times a day at least. Let me explain why I had that kind of thought. First of all, like I said, Laos was French colonial country, so one of the few things that French left behind was architecture and the bread. We call it kajipate or some kind of French baguette. That's how you would call it maybe. So there is a huge bread with meats and all kind of sauce and vegetables in it. It tastes really, really good. So when I thought of Caucasian people, I thought they must have ate a lot of bread. But that's not the main reason why I had this kind of thought in my head in the first place. So when I was 7.5, there was this group of Caucasian people. I think they're ex-American soldiers. They came to our village to destroy the landmine or the unexploded bomb. And that's the first time we saw white people. And during lunchtime, they were sitting next to our neighbor's house and they pulled out this huge bread from their backpack and they just ate it like it looked so delicious. So in my head, I thought, wow, okay, so this is the main food that these people eat. And then when I came to Luang Prabang, then I saw more and more tourists, coming in, and they bought a lot of bread before they, make the trip to other province, let's say to Nong Kia or to Wang Vieng or to other province. So they always buy like huge pack of bread with them. So that's why I thought, okay, all Caucasians eat bread like 3 times a day or every meal. But when I came to Europe, I was surprised. Well, they have loads of varieties of food. They eat potatoes, they eat noodles, they eat meat, they eat vegetables and all kinds of things. And number 2 is the weather. I first arrived in Europe was in late May and it was great weather, but the things that I was so surprised was at 8 p.m. the sun is still up there. I was like, hang on. In Laos, we never had this, At 5:36, the sun is already gone and it's getting dark already, so we are preparing for dinner and head to bed. But at 8 p.m., the sun is so bright up there. I was so shocked and so surprised. And then I realized that, okay, well, during the summer it's this, but during the winter it's quite opposite, where it gets dark at 3:34. So yeah, this is something that I found very shocking. And number 3 for me is the homelessness. Not gonna lie, when I first arrived in Paris, I was so shocked to see that many homeless people on the street. I was so confused. I thought, what's wrong with these people? Where are their family? What happened to them? I mean, can their family just take them in, or can the government just help them? Because when I thought of Europe, I thought they're a rich country, so the government must have enough money to provide free house for all their citizens and healthcare or give them money when they're in need. That's what I thought. But after seeing that, I was really shocked. If you compare between Laos and many European countries, Laos is a lot poorer in terms of economy and how much money people earn per year. However, we barely have homeless people in Laos. We have a few Luang Prabang, but those are the one who has mental problem. They can't control themselves, so they're just walking around naked. Family tried to take them in, but they didn't like it, so they just wander around by themselves. There are many homeless people in European countries. They look quite stable. They look quite okay to me. I'm not sure what's behind closed door. They may addicted to drug or they might have mental problem. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think one of the main reasons is because we're from the country that is so family and community oriented, where we stick together. We depend on each other. For example, I don't have home in Laos. I travel a lot, but every time I come back to Laos, to Luang Prabang, I always have my brother's place that I can stay with as long as I want, and he doesn't mind, as long as I'm not lazy. And sometimes when he doesn't have enough money and he wants some support, I can help them. So we kind of depending on each other in this way. So I think that's one of the main reasons. And number 4 for me is the lack of smile. I mean, coming from Laos, where we smile very easy and we smile to stranger and we smile to everybody. However, when I arrived in Europe, everyone was so serious, and my friend told me that don't smile to everybody like you used to at home. And that surprised me, and it's true. I wouldn't dare smiling to strangers or I get myself into trouble. Where in Laos, it's more like opposite, where smiling is something that we give to each other because we were taught in our culture that one of the things that you can give to other people for free without costing anything is the smile, and it's the beautiful sign. It's a friendly sign. Just give it. It's gonna make a better day for other people. And that's how we are so used to it, where when I came to Europe, everyone was so serious and keep it to themselves and very isolating themselves, with reading magazines or looking on their phone on a subway and stuff like that. So yeah, I was really, really shocked. And number 6 for me is the personal space. Again, in Laos, our personal space is quite close to each other. Where here, the personal space is like this. I mean, you wouldn't dare to get close to strangers, otherwise they will be cautious, will be like, ooh, mind my back, otherwise, people will steal my belongings, which is understandable because a place like London where you get people from all over the world and, who knows, some people might be a thief, some people might be a good guy, but it's better to be cautious. I'm not saying that Laos is better or anything, just, as a person who came from different culture where we react to strangers differently, but that's how, living in the big cities is all about, I think. And number 7 for me is the dress code. I used to thought that every European person in their home country, they must dress like in a fashion runway, because I watch a lot of fashion and magazines and stuff like that. And especially when I first came to Paris, because Paris is known to be the fashion capital of the world, I thought that everybody must dress like Gucci, Chanel and stuff like that. But no, it turns out that they just dress normal like other people. Anyway, that's my culture shock experience in Europe for the first time. This is why I think, traveling is the best book for me, because I've learned so much and it changed me in a lot of ways, for the better, in fact. Because sometimes my thought that I used to have for a certain country, and then after I visit them, things have changed, because what you see and hear in the news is not always all true. So I think the best you can do is just go there and spend some time and really watch and learn how people live their lives in their home country. So yeah, anyway, well, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for watching my video. Bye bye.